around a staff of 50 people, and what they do, they are working on the issues such as technology, what is its potential, what it can cost, and in which countries, in which regional roadmaps, grid integration strategies, innovation framework, bioenergy standards, and quality control. And I am very sure you will be benefited from his long experience that how this will affect the policies in the Make in India, and a guidance is sought from him for our country. Thank you. Mr. Dolf Gielen, stage is for you.
Thank you very much. I'll be brief, just make a few comments. First of all, our latest statistics indicate that worldwide, last year, there were nearly 10 million jobs in renewable energy. So that is a significant number, and therefore we receive a lot of questions from our member countries. Well, can renewable industry, manufacturing industry be a basis for creating new jobs for our population? If you look at where these jobs are, they're divided over these different technology fields. There are jobs in solar, but there's also an important number of jobs in wind, there's an important number of jobs in biomass, and also in hydropower. And these jobs are across the supply chains. And the supply chains, their structure is very different for different technologies. We just heard from Mr. Subramaniam about the case of solar cells and solar modules. But if you look at the total cost of a solar project, about half of the cost is in the module, and the other half is the balance of plant. So, of course, you can try to compete with the Chinese on the cell manufacturing, not so easy. Maybe it can be done. But you should not forget about the other half of the opportunity, be it in the inverters, be it in the cabling, be it in the racks, etc. And it's a similar story for some of the other technologies. If you look at wind, then the nacelle is, so the top part is the part where, let's say, the high tech is concentrated. Not so easy to manufacture. But if you look at the overall project cost, or if you look at the cost of a wind turbine, about 50% of the cost is a tower. A piece of steel, a steel pipe. Now, making a steel pipe is not such high tech, and that is something which can much easier be done. The other part of a wind turbine is the blade. Now, if you have the latest wind turbines, they have blades of somewhere between 60 and 80 meters of length. So not something you put easily on a truck and ship it around the world. You try as much as possible to have a local manufacturing of something like that. So again, it shows that there are, yes, high-tech opportunities, but there are also other important opportunities that shouldn't be forgotten. If you talk about bioenergy projects, then 70–80% of the project cost is the feedstock supply. Again, not so much a high-tech issue, but more an issue of how do you ensure reliable, affordable, sustainable supply of large amounts of biomass. So it's much more of a logistics type of question. So different opportunities in different parts of the supply chain. Regarding potential government policies to support a manufacturing industry. Yes, there is experience with anti-dumping measures also in Europe. And that was very much promoted by one of the manufacturers who went insolvent last month. So anti-dumping can perhaps help, but not in all cases. There's a number of countries, also member countries, who have local content requirements as a policy to promote national manufacturing. The experience with that is also a little bit mixed. Sometimes the impacts are quite unexpected. An example is Russia. Russia had important local manufacturing requirements, and the consequence was that instead of a wind industry being established in Russia, what happened was a solar industry emerged. Because there was some capacity in solar manufacturing, there was no capacity in wind manufacturing in Russia. While wind would have been by far the more cheaper option in that specific case. So again, you need to be a little bit careful with that. One item which I haven't really heard is innovation. And we heard it also yesterday a little bit in the NREL presentation, where they said, well, we see a great opportunity now for printed perovskite type cells that would revolutionize the industry. So innovation overall is very important in coming to a competitive industry, and that is something where focus is warranted. And in general, government has an important role to play in creating that enabling environment in all its aspects. Access to financing, having the skilled staff, having the logistics, etc. So that's a few comments from my side, and I think I'll stop here. Thank you very much.